guy.com. Okay, so we're on our final segment. Steve, we have to dive in. We're here with Steve Korn, owner of New Hall Escrow now. Been in business out here for over 51 years now.
52 years.
52 years.
Yes,
Woo! Let's talk about some of the new laws and trends that are affecting real estate today.
Fortunately, the legislators were friendly to our industry. They didn't get too crazy. But there's a few things that I'm going to call a law and a couple trends that are affecting the real estate process and the consumer. So consumer related is most significantly, you can no longer hide document your transfer tax on the acquisition of a piece of property. So what that translates to is when you buy a piece of property, there's a deed that transfers ownership from the seller to the buyer. And on that deed is a number which represents $1.10 per every thousand of the sales price of that property if you're in the county of Los Angeles. If you go over the hill and you're in the city of LA, you got an additional $4.50 per thousand of the sales price. So that gives anybody who wants to know what you paid for your home the ability to go on the public record, download your address, pull up the deed, do the math themselves, and they figure out what you paid for that house. Well, a lot of people don't want that knowledge to be known in the past. For different reasons. Privacy, investment issues, whatever. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, but that can no longer be hidden. Okay, it has to be disclosed. So that's, I think, the most significant. The other, I'm not going to call them laws. They're trends that the law affects. Number one is California Association of Realtors has taken a position that that their licensees tomorrow, anybody that sells real estate, is now going to be operating in line with the Civil Code 4525, which states that all sellers must pay for any documentation required under the Civil Code to be given to a buyer in a condominium or subdivision homeowners association environment. So they call them the governing documents. In the past, the contract gave an option buyer or seller to pay, and in some negotiations, buyers got stuck paying that fee, and it was apparently in violation of the Civil Code all this time. So Carr took care of that this year, issued a new contract version which didn't give the option, says seller must provide. So that's a new thing, and we're doing lots of training on getting people in the business attuned to that so that they don't make a mistake and try to get the buyer to pay for documents and cause a violation of the Civil Code. Again, that's Civil Code 4525 in case you're wondering.
Well, I love having Steve Korn around because he does all the research.
You do research. Brown right there.
He is. I mean, when we go to CMA, which is another group of the very best professionals in town, Tamar's part of, and Steve and myself are part of, and you always are giving quality advice because you actually do your homework. Heaven forbid.
Yeah. How
you don't just go to work and
concept.
put your head in the sand and hope that everything.
Wait for the phone to ring.
Yeah. But that's what a true professional does. I know, Gino, you're a freakazoid about looking at guidelines and opportunities and options and loan programs. You're weird like that.
I'm super weird like that. But you know what? It's all for our borrowers to have the best benefit possible. In fact, something we're doing very, very well right now is if you are 69 and a half or greater and you've got money put aside, but maybe you don't have a lot of income, give us a call.
Yeah.
We could help you qualify for a loan. If you've been told that you can't qualify for a loan and you're 69 and a half or older and you've got retirement assets put aside, that's something that we're doing very well right now, is helping people that have assets qualify even if they don't have a significant source of income such as a job. So if you're a retiree, we've got a really great program for you right now.
Or, of course, we can dive into those that are, my neighbors just went through that. They're a little bit older, and they've been kind of burning through their savings a little bit. They've lived longer than they expected, and you watch them, you'll know why. They're just machines. They'll never grow up. And because of that, they've been burning through savings, and now they're basically going to be forced to leave their home that they love. Well, we were able to line them up with a reverse mortgage, meaning they no longer have a mortgage payment. They use the equity in their home to stay in their current home, and they are ecstatic. So if you're worried about having to be forced out of your home, you might have enough equity. If you're 52 and older, right? 62 and older, you have the opportunity to look into reverse mortgage, and we have one of the best coming on next week, actually, to talk more about how you can utilize a reverse mortgage for either downsizing or keeping your current home.
Yeah, in fact, one thing I don't want to forget, you talked very briefly about the new contract and about new trends. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with termites. I know that that's changed in the new contract as well, and it's no longer the seller making an upfront commitment to paying for Section 1 items. Is that accurate?
Yeah, well, here's the deal. Okay, California Association of Realtors is trying to get the licensees operating in the state of California to no longer put the seller in an obligatory place to have to automatically be obligated to pay for a termite inspection and any corrective work, okay? There's lots of lawsuits happening right now, which is the reason why CAR took a look at this and said, look, we don't want to put our sellers in harm's way any longer, so we removed that provision from the contract as even an option. The contract's been written for years as an as-is, where-is purchase. That means the buyer, you want to buy this piece of property, it's as you see it. You want to do a bunch
Buyer beware.
You want to do a bunch of investigation studies, to determine the property's use for your purposes, go at it. But in the past, it became a custom in our valley, for one, and others that I know of, that sellers just automatically paid for a termite report. And they also paid for corrective work. It was the custom.
Right.
Well, there's lawsuits that are now getting in the way of that, so the contracts are now written, so that's not a part of the deal at all. So, but
now,
I mean,
it still can be if
well,
you want it to be. It's a negotiable item, right?
Negotiable.
There's definitely strategic thought processes, and that's part of the ongoing education that I'm doing right now with a lot of my realtor clients. So I wanted to mention one more thing about the laws and trends affecting real estate. If you're out there, you're kind of a do-it-yourself kind of person, you're going to go on the internet and pull up a deed to transfer the property from yourself individually into your living trust, or do anything that needs a notarial language on it. Your signature needs to be notarized. There's brand new notary language that if your notary signature, if your signature is notarized in 2014 in the old language, LA County Recorder's Office will honor it. If you sign it any day prior after 1/1/2015 with the old language, it won't get recorded. So be aware on those those do-it-yourself sites, and those documents probably won't be updated. So you need to get a hold of a professional, and you need to go to aprgi.com and find out the names of the attorneys that we recommend you listeners to, that if you need something to happen like that, that's where you get those resources.
All right, good stuff. Good information. Steve Korn, owner of Newhall Escrow, right there on Lyons Avenue in Santa Clarita. And real quick, Tamar, great information as always. I know you can help any of our buyers, sellers, move-up buyers, and also those who own investment properties. You have All Valley Leasing, right?
Absolutely. We own a property management company, and we can help you manage the property and then still buy something else if that's your wishes. You can hold on to that house that you grew up in and, your kids grew up in. So whatever your needs are, we can help you buying, selling, managing your property.
Excellent. I love the one-stop shop. You're helping out some clients of ours, and they love you helping them out, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
How can they get a hold of you?
855-HOUSE-05.
855-HOUSE-05. Tamar House. That's right, in the house. And
That's
Steve
right.
Korn, how do they get a hold of you, buddy?
Just call me at 259-3450. That's 259-3450, or newhallesco.com.
All right, and if you want to reach out to Gino and I, you can always reach out to 855-DON-GINO. It's pretty easy, 855-DON-GINO, or Don and Gino, A and D, and Gino.